Let's implement that standard access control list we just went through the exercise to develop. What we want to do is write that access control list on our router and then apply it to F01 in the outbound direction. What I'm going to do is actually write the access list as I have it shown here as a named access list. Additionally, I will write the same exact access list as a numbered access list, and we'll apply both and see how each one differs. What we'll find out is that there's actually no difference in the behavior. Let's move into the environment and start configuring. The PC that I'm working on has the IP address of 10.0.0.16. It's the maroon colored PC in the upper left-hand corner of the drawing. Take a snapshot of this drawing or grab it out of the PowerPoint files in the download section so that you have access to this while we're configuring the router so that we can compare the behavior that we're seeing to what we have on the drawing as well as what our access list is supposed to look like. First off, let's open up my command prompt and do an IP config. And here you'll see that my IP address is 10.0.0.16. Right now I can ping the web server at 192.168.10.10. And I get a reply from that. Additionally, I can open up Google Chrome and I'm going to open a incognito window here, which is Control-Shift-N. And then I'm going to go to 192.168.10.10. And we should be able to get the website up here. And it says right here, this is some demonstration text to verify that the web server at the address is online and running. So our web server is up and running and we can access it from 10.0.0.16. This is also going to be true of device 10.0.0.128. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at that device at 10.0.0.128 and verify that without the access control list, we can access the web server. We can ping the web server. So I have Ubuntu desktop set up for the device that has IP address 10.0.0.128. On a Linux box, I can take a look at my IP configuration by issuing the ifconfig command. And right here, my internet address, the IPv4 address is 10.0.0.128. So from here, if I send a ping message, I can send a ping to 192.168.10.10 and get a reply. Additionally, I can open up Firefox, my web browser. And here I'll open up a new private window, which is like the Google Chrome incognito window. It's just a blank browser that doesn't store anything. And here we'll go to 192.168.10.10. And we get the same text, just some demonstration text to verify that our web server is running. So excellent. So right now, all the devices on our network can access the web server at 192.168.10.10. Let's move back to my workstation and start to write our access control list. We can then come back to this 10.0.0.128 device and do our testing after we get our ACL written. So I'm back at my device at 10.0.0.16. Let's SSH to the router and start our configuration. And log in. On here, if I do a show IP interface brief, we can see that I've already configured F00 with 10.0.0.1 and F01 with IP address 192.168.10.1. So let's go into config mode and we're going to write that access control list. And I'm going to write it in two different ways like I had said earlier. We'll start with the way that we've done on the example where we're creating a standard named access list. So we say IP access list standard and then we give it the name example 1 and then it moves us to that new prompt. The new prompt we're going to say permit 10.0.0.16 with the wildcard mask of 0001. And then our last line here is going to be deny any. Excellent. My access control list is written. Let's write that same access control list, except this time using a number. The way we do that is we say access list, and then we give it a number. I'm going to use 10. Remember that number for standard access lists has to be between 1 and 99, or 1300 to 1999. So I'm going to use access list 10 here. We'll say then permit 10.0.0.16 with a wildcard mask of 0.0.0.1. And then access list 10, deny any. If I do a command now of show access list, what it'll do is it'll show us what's currently configured. So right now I have the two access lists that I created, and it looks like there may have been a lingering access control list in here. So I'm going to do a show run and find out why this access list is showing up in my access list show command here. So what I can do is show run, and I'm going to use this pipe, and the pipe is going to let us do some extra commands. So I want to do show run, and I'm going to include hello. And it looks like we have a standard access list configured there for IP access list standard hello, and we don't have anything configured for it. So let's fix that and just get rid of it. We'll go to config t, type no. I'm going to select that command, right click, which will paste it, and now we don't have that access list anymore. So now let's go back and look at show access list. And now we only have the two access lists that I've configured. The first one is our numbered access list. The second one is our named access list. And you can see when we look at the show command for our access lists, those two lists look exactly the same. One just has a number, one has a name. Let's go apply our named access list now to INT-F01. Now I'm going to warn you and say that you do not need to create two types of access lists. I am only creating two types of access list, numbered and named, as an example for understanding how standard access lists work. What I am not suggesting, what I am not implying, what I don't want you to do is always create two access lists that are identical, one with a number and one with a name. We're only doing this as an experiment in this example so we can see how they operate, and we're not doing it because this is some kind of industry standard of creating two access lists every time we need one. So please don't take this too far and always create two access lists when you need them. We just need one. I'm just using this as an example. Once we get into interface fast Ethernet 0/1, we can say access group. We give it the name, example 1, and then we give it a direction. In this case, we want it to apply it in the outbound direction. So now if we exit out of our router and I do show access list, as we start to pass traffic through the router, we're going to start to see hits on that access list line.